Hey guys, what is going on? It's Mark from Superhuman Fitness here, and in this video, I'm going to be telling you how I won my first ever no-gi Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament. Not only that, but I'm going to be showing you how you can do the exact same. So let's go. Now, first things first, before we get into the nitty-gritty aspects of this video, I just want to lay out the general idea, general concept of how this tournament worked, right? So this was a round robin no-gi tournament. I've done a gi tournament in the past, just one before. My gym is mainly a gi school, so that's kind of what I was drawn into. But then I decided, you know what, I kind of want to try a no-gi. So this was my first no-gi, and kind of tell you guys how it went out. So if you don't already know what round robin is, you just get multiple matches. Even if you lose, you get to kind of keep going, and it's a good way to gain experience. Now, that being said, obviously I got first place, so I won all of my matches. I had a 14-man bracket. 6 matches total. I won 5 by submission and only 1 by points. I actually only had one guy score on me the entire tournament. It was just 2 points. I believe it was for a sweep. It wasn't even, I recorded all my matches. This is the only one that didn't fully record the whole way through, and it was the point part that didn't even get recorded. So that kind of sucks, but I believe it would have been because of a sweep, because I was kind of defending a submission, so I believe that might have been when we reversed. But also, I don't understand how he got the points, because as soon as I got out of the sub, I was already back on top. So I don't think, maybe, I don't know. We'll see. But that being said, only 2 points scored on me the entire tournament within 6 matches. My fastest match was actually a 40-second finish. So that is kind of cool. But yeah, if you guys want to watch breakdowns of everything, let me know in the comments, and I'll do a little breakdowns of all my matches. So now the last thing I want to mention is this was a white belt division. So I'm going to mention everything that I can, try to help you guys as much as I can, but it was white belt. So take this with a grain of salt and refer to your coach for whatever I say. If you have any questions, go to them, ask them, because white belt, right? Now, first things first, what did I do and what can you do? You can't get around training frequently. So that's the first thing. You got to train as frequently as possible. If you could train 7 days a week, great. Do 7 days a week. If you could only do 4 days a week, that's fine. You're not training for ADCC, World Championship, whatever. You could train as frequently as possible and you should be fine. Now, if you could do 2 times a day, great. You're like Gordon Ryan level, right? But train as frequently as possible, and you're not going to have anything to regret later, because you're doing the absolute best that you can. So what I did was I trained 5 days a week, sometimes 6, depending on if I can make it because of work. But train as frequently as possible. And if you can't get into the gym for whatever reason, maybe you can't train every day just because of the way your membership is set up or something like that, then what you can do is you can actually learn away from the gym. Just watch YouTube videos, watch matches of high-level guys, and see kind of what they're doing and study it. You can get better without actually training. Now, obviously, the best way to get better is to train, but you can get better without actually doing the training. Do both. Do both. Watch as many matches as you can after your training, for example. I personally watch instructionals. I'll leave the instructionals that I watched linked down below, but keep in mind, instructionals do get pretty pricey, so don't go out and just splurge all your money on instructionals. Be kind of specific when you buy them. I used BJJ Fanatics. I actually had 2 by Gordon Ryan. My Evolution, Your Revolution by Gordon Ryan. This is a great one. He takes all of his ADCC matches and he kind of breaks them down. They're all no-gi. He breaks them down, kind of, you watch the match and he tells you what he was thinking, how he did it, what he was doing throughout each match. And this is a great thing. I liked to do this at night, so I'd go to my class, or even didn't have class that day, I'd just watch it at night and try to get an idea of kind of what was going on. And it gives you like a high level mindset for competing, and some stuff you might not even think about while you're training, and suddenly you're like, oh, Gordon Ryan did this, let me try this, and it ends up working. So that is the first one. The second one is called the Sport of Kings High Performance Mindset. This one's also by Gordon Ryan. This one I wouldn't recommend if you're only like a week out before a tournament. This is something maybe like a month out, something to watch and kind of get your mind in the right mindset. This is what goes on in Gordon Ryan's mind in preparing for training. Just gives you a general idea. It's a great instructional in my opinion. The third instructional I watched was Mikey Musumeci, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, his ankle lock instructional. I'm going to leave that one linked down below as well. Ankle locks are kind of my game. I like leg locks. Ankle locks are the only ones legal in white belt divisions. So I watched the ankle lock one. I got really, really good as you can get at white belt at ankle locks. And that was kind of the one that I watched. I worked my ankle locks. Now, something I do recommend, aside obviously from having like your go-to submission or go-to technique, is to have like a general idea of something to do in each position. So I would prefer to have 2 escapes from each position as well as 2 submissions from each position. So you have something to do in whatever position you end up in. Ideally, you don't have to do your escapes in tournament, but get really good at doing them so you don't have to worry about what happens if you get caught in those positions. Now, the last thing I would recommend is to go through the rule set of whatever you're competing in and try to understand every legal move in there. Not illegal, every legal move. It helps to know the illegal ones too, sure, but try to understand the legal ones so you're not caught off guard by anything. I remember when I was doing it, I saw a groin stretch that was legal at white belt. I was like, Jesus, I hope I'm not caught in that. And thankfully, I didn't get caught in that, but I'm not the most flexible guy. So now I know what the move is. I kind of understand the move. So now it's not as much of a worry, but when you are getting into it, try to read the rules and try to understand kind of what's going on and what is legal and what is illegal, and hopefully how to defend everything. So that is very important as well. Now I got one bonus tip, but before I tell you guys that, let's do a quick little recap. So train as frequently as possible. When you can't train, study high level guys. I use the BJJ Fanatics. Like I said, I'll leave those linked down below. The ones I use, you can use whatever you feel like is best for you. Next, you want to have an idea of every position and 2 submissions from that position, as well as 2 escapes from that position, just so you have something to do from whatever position you get caught in. You also want to understand every legal submission that's within whatever rule set of the tournament that you're competing in. Now, the last and final tip, I'm sure you guys already know about warming up, so I'm not going to tell you to warm up, but warm up. The last and final tip is when you get to your tournament, say you are not the first guy going, watch your opponents, watch the people in your division, see how they play. If they pull guard every time, maybe it's something you should do. You should pull guard on them. Put them somewhere that they're uncomfortable, somewhere they're not used to. And that's kind of a really big thing, actually. Most people only really pull guard in training, so when they get to tournament, they only really want to pull guard. You want to get good at everything, so you know how to pull guard and you also know how to take somebody down. So when you get there, you're watching them, you're like, okay, this guy really likes to pull guard, so I'm going to pull guard on him. Or maybe one guy's really good at passing, so you don't pull guard, but instead you try to take him down, so you don't give him a guard to pass. You take him down, you take top right away. So it's a good idea to study your opponent. Now, you don't have to always do the opposite of what your opponent does, but if you can do that, it's going to be a big advantage to you. Now, it's good to switch it up and not be easy to read, right? But these are just some of the things that I feel like would help you when it comes to your first no-gi jiu-jitsu tournament, or even gi, or not even your first, just any tournament in general. But this is what I did to win my first no-gi Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament. So I hope this helped you guys out. Let me know if it did. Like I said, the BJJ Fanatic stuff linked down below. Let me know if you would like to watch me break down my other matches. Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video, subscribe, peace out.